Good morning, everyone. My name is Ziad Zabian. I'm a sergeant with the London Police Service. I work in our diversity and hate crime unit. Welcome to Canada. I know many of you are newcomers, so this is going to be very new to you. And we're going to be talking about the Human Rights Code of Canada. A very brief introduction. I hope I can cover most of your concerns and questions. So, what is the Human Rights Code of Ontario? The Ontario Human Rights Code is for everyone. It is a provincial law that gives everybody equal rights and opportunities without discrimination in areas such as jobs, housing, and services. The Code's goal is to prevent discrimination and harassment because of race, age, disability and age, just to name a few of the 17 grounds. All other Ontario laws must agree with the Code. That's how important this Code is for everyone. The Code is one of the first laws of its kind in Canada. Before 1962, various laws dealt with different kinds of discrimination. The Code brought them together into one law and added some new protections for all Canadians. In 2008, there were major changes to the Ontario human rights system to benefit for everyone. The changes designed to renew Ontario's human rights system came into effect. Ontario's human rights systems now consists of 3 separate and independent parts, which are very important. And these 3 parts are very important because they are what is going to support and help every individual. The Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario is one. Another is the Human Rights Legal Support Centre and the Ontario Human Rights Commission. And I'll talk about each of them briefly because they're very important. And each one has a specific goal and purpose to support and help you. The Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario, this decides if someone's human rights have been violated. So if you think your rights under the Code have been violated, you can file a complaint, which is called an application, directly with the tribunal. Now the tribunal will decide the best way to deal with your situation. It may also decide that your rights your rights have not been violated, or it does not have the power to deal with your case. So if you feel like you've been discriminated against, this is the first step. Get that advice. It's free. They have all the support systems in place, and at least they will give you clarification if you've been wrong or something's been breached, and then they will provide further support from there. So that's where your first inquiry should start if you choose their process. The Human Rights Legal Support Center. So this is the legal support center. This helps people. So if you've been deemed you've been discriminated against, or something's happened to you, then they will help you with the application, and they will provide advice, support, and legal representation. So what that means is they will provide a lawyer free of cost for your complaint. And the third part is the Human Rights Commission. This works to identify the cause of discrimination and to bring about broad, systemic change to remove them. So we want to stop these things from happening. This is what the Commission will do. It will develop policies and provide public education, monitor human rights, does the research, analysis, and conducts human rights public interest inquiries. So they are trying to always better the system. If there's flaws, they will correct it. If something new is brought into place or a new law, they will adapt it. While it does not deal with individual human rights complaints, the Ontario Human Rights Commission may take its own cases or intervene in human rights cases before tribunals or courts in issues of broad public interest. So if there is a complaint brought forward that has a deep impact on a large group or culture or part of society, they may take this on for the society, for that group, in the best interest of that group or whoever they're representing. Now, the Human Rights Code recognizes dignity and worth of every person and provides for equal rights and opportunities. The Code lists 5 social areas and the 17 grounds of discrimination. This is very important. The courts have said that because of the importance of the principles set out in the Code, it should be given a broad and generous interpretation. When there's a difference or conflict between the code and another Ontario law, the code has priority, unless the other law specifically states otherwise. That's how important your rights, how important those individual rights are, that this code has priority over regular laws. Unless specifically stated, this code will trump those laws. Now, we talked about 17 grounds of discrimination. I will talk about them further later, but here are the 17 grounds that are officially recognized. Your race, your color, ancestry, place of origin, ethnic origin, citizenship, your creed or your religion, age, gender identity, gender expression, sex or your pregnancy, sexual orientation, family status, marital status, receipt of public assistance, and record of offenses. If you feel, now what's beautiful is in Canada and in Ontario, every workplace, every employer has their own policies in place through their human resources. So they have a discrimination policy in place. They have a harassment policy in place. So if you're in the workplace, for example, or if you're at school and you feel like one of these grounds, somebody's done something to you under these 17 grounds of discrimination, you can bring that complaint to your human resources department, to your school, to your employer, and they have to have a process in place to address this. If you feel that that's not being resolved and you're not getting support, you can call the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal and they will help you as well.
You can find information about the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario by visiting tribunalsontario.ca/HRTO. Telephone contact hours, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. To inquire about your case, call telephone 416-326-1312. Toll free 1-866-598-0322. TTY. Call the Bell Relay Service at 1-800-855-0511. You can also find information about legal help if you need it.